Hello, everyone. Cassidy Quinn here. Happy Monday. Happy Mental Monday. If you're new here, this is the show where we hang out Monday nights live on this channel. We talk about our brains, our bodies, how we're feeling, what we're feeling, because I have a lot of feelings. I met a new friend a while ago, which is weird, by the way, in quarantine to meet new people because you meet them and you have a mask on. And I met this person, and it was literally the day that I dyed my hair blue and met her from a social distance, of course. But it was also extra weird because I had a mask on, and she didn't know that my hair was not blue earlier, which it's, just a little bit blue. You can't you can't tell right now, okay? And that's fine. Hi, Scott. Thank you for tuning in. But I met a new friend in quarantine a few weeks ago, and the day that I dyed my hair blue, and we were talking about astrology and our signs, and I mentioned that I'm a Cancer, and she goes, "Oh, so you're really emotional." And I felt number one so attacked, and number two, she was not wrong. So, this is where we talk about our emotions. So if you're having any feelings today, feel free to leave a comment how you are feeling. Because yes, this is live right now. I don't know how to prove it to you. I could open the blinds to show you that it's like getting dark outside, but it's not dark outside because it's that time of night in Portland. To prove that it's this week, I'm wearing my Portland Trailblazers t-shirt. This one is from Western Conference Champions NBA Finals in 1990 when I was just a 1 year old. But in case you don't know, basketball is back. The NBA season is resuming in just a few days. But the scrimmages have been going on, and I live in Portland where we have the Trailblazers. And in quarantine, I've interviewed Trailblazers shooting guard. Shooting guard, right? I think. I don't know people's positions. Okay, I know basketball. Don't know all the positions. Don't at me. But I interviewed CJ McCollum a few times in quarantine, not about basketball, but about a cookbook he put out with Moda Health about healthy eating, and about a wine brand he's released, a wine label with Adelsheim Vineyards in Portland, or in Oregon's wine country. So I love me some CJ McCollum. He's a great dude. He's so down to earth, and every time I talk to him, he is trying to do good. He is doing good with his platform. So anyway, extra love for the Blazers. Go Blazers! Again, their first game of the resumed season is on the 31st in just a few days. And it seems to maybe be the only sport, cross fingers, knock on wood, that can function in quarantine and keep people safe. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it. Everyone, please knock on some piece of wood surrounding you right now. My downstairs neighbor is like, why are you knocking on the floor, lady? It's 9 o'clock at night. But I don't know if you guys have been following. Football has canceled the preseason. Football, obviously, like, you have to touch each other. And then baseball has had some issues. I believe it was the Marlins that announced today that they've got some positive cases on the team. And even here in Portland, the Portland Pickles, which is a collegiate wood bat team, they had a little outbreak there, had to cancel games for a week. I believe they're back playing now, baseball, you can go sit outside. If it's a Pickles game, they're not like assigned seats, so you can spread out. You can bring your picnic, social distance, sit with your family, have a great time. But I do like being a sports fan, and the Olympics are not happening this year. They're supposed to be happening right now. Normal sports, it's just not happening, and I get it. Believe me, I do not want sports to just happen, but I am hoping that the Blazers and all the other NBA players can stay safe in their bubble. They're playing at Disney World in Orlando, Florida, and they're all just like hunkered down. They're not traveling. They're staying there. Like the baseball people, I think they're traveling, right? And that seems like a problem, maybe? I don't know. So, you guys have seen the title of this video by now. Today's topic that I wanted to share with you, and as always, feel free to chime in again with your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, what you're stressed out about right now, what you're feeling great, happy thoughts about right now, happy, warm, fuzzy feelings, or just anything that's on your mind, in your brain, right now. What's on my mind is a reminder to myself and to all of us to slow down and breathe. This seems like a very obvious thing. However, it is something that I need a lot of reminders of, whether that's someone else noticing that I'm moving too fast and I'm not breathing, or it's usually me noticing or me listening to a meditation that's leading me through breathing. But my most recent reminder of this was this weekend. I got to go up to Seattle and see my grandmother. She's visiting from New York City, and she's been quarantining in upstate New York at my aunt's house for the past however many months of quarantine because little 90-year-old grandma hanging in the middle of New York City, sorry, there's like a chunk of hair that's falling out of my bun. It's really bugging me, and I'm not going to be able to stop looking at it if I don't just fix it now. Now I made it worse. Just bear with me momentarily. This is what it's like to have long hair, but too short hairs that don't fit in your ponytail. Anyway, my lovely little grandma. Of course, we didn't want her in the middle of New York City the past few months. She's 90 years old, so she's been quarantining up in upstate New York. However, every summer she comes and visits my family in Seattle, and she has, like, for a lot of grandmas, grandpas, people who are a little bit older, the quarantine and social isolation has not been great because, I mean, even for anyone of any age, like kids or 31-year-olds, whatever, teenagers, isolation has not been great. Like, you're not connecting with other humans, you don't have people around to talk to, and feel that connection, and keep you talking. Even I, as someone who makes videos and talks publicly a lot and has a lot of practice with it, I still, sometimes when I log on to a Zoom interview, if I haven't had an interview in a few days or like talked a lot on a Zoom call, I'll have a Zoom interview and I will feel like I have forgotten how to form sentences, and how to interact and ask questions, and my brain just kind of goes, oh, how do I talk anymore? And that's me, someone who talks a lot. So imagine being an adorable, beautiful little 90-year-old grandma stuck inside for 5 months and not being able to talk to many people and not do what she normally does, which is walk around New York City and socialize with people just all over. Like, go to the market, go walk around, go to Central Park, chat with the birds, the people, whatever. None of us can do that right now, especially if you're 90, because you're obviously in a high-risk population. So grandma can't do that. So we still wanted to have her come visit to Seattle, but we wanted to be extra safe, of course, so my whole family got tested for COVID before she came to make sure that we weren't going to infect her. Everybody's clear, all good there. And normally my grandma, for the last, I don't know, 30 years or more, has taken the train from New York City to Seattle, Washington. If you aren't from the United States, or you just don't know geography that well, those are pretty much almost as far as you could have to go on train in the United States. I mean, you could go a little farther each direction, whatever. But, like, Seattle's on the coast. New York, yeah, there's a coast over there. So, they're very far apart. Taking a train takes 3 days to get to Seattle. So she took a plane for the first time since 1991 for my great-grandpa's funeral. So that's saying something. She overcame her fear of flying, which just proves that no matter what you think you are afraid of, no matter what you are fighting against, there is a way to overcome it, even if you are 90 years old. By the way, she also just quit smoking at 90. So, Grandma, you're amazing. Still impressing me every single day, all of these years later. But there was a moment, I mean, so Grandma's visiting, right? It's going great. We get to hang out with her. It's lovely. But there was a moment where she started having a lot of anxiety on one day this weekend, because her hearing aids weren't working, and all of a sudden she thought she couldn't hear. And if I all of a sudden couldn't hear anything or couldn't see anything, I would freak out. Like, that makes my heart beat really fast just thinking about all of a sudden losing one of your senses. And that's what she was experiencing. And of course it started overwhelming her and making her freak out a little bit and feel super anxious. And she started breathing really fast and her whole body tensed up, and me and my dad just went over and sat with her and tried to rub her shoulders. And my dad looked at her and said, and it's his mom. She was like, "Mom, look me in the eye. Look me in the eye. you're okay? Because, she wouldn't have been able to hear him. But we got her hearing aids working again. I guess I missed that part. The batteries were dying in the hearing aids, which we didn't realize. So we replaced the batteries in the hearing aid, put them back. Grandma realized she had not lost her hearing forever, but she was still very thrown off, as you can imagine. And my dad just looked at her and said, Mom, look me in the eyes, held her hand, said, you're okay? You can hear me, right? Okay, now take 5 deep breaths. We're going to do it together. Just like when you're giving birth. That's what he said. I don't know what it's like to give birth, but that's what he said to his mother. And she just took these deep breaths. It made me cry because it was really sweet and beautiful. And it worked. It worked. We all took those deep breaths together. And she calmed down. We all calmed down. It was beautiful. It was proof that if we just remind ourselves of the simple things, the basics, can we breathe? Can I breathe right now? Can I find my breath? Can I remember that there's a floor that I'm sitting on right now, or there's a couch underneath me, or I can feel my feet underneath me? I'm okay, and I'm breathing, and the world continues to go around. And I know that I have a lot of moments where I have to remind myself of that. Most recently, I'm recording this on my phone, but normally I record on my Canon G7X Mark III little camera. I love it. It's wonderful. It's my favorite. I take it everywhere. I took it into the rainforest, except I didn't. Last minute decision, decided not to take it backpacking with us. I left it in Tucker's truck in the parking lot, and I'm pretty sure I hid it from myself somewhere in the truck, or hid it from like anyone that would come up to the truck so they wouldn't see it right on the front seat or something. I like hid it under a seat, and I cannot find it anywhere. I didn't look for it until late last week when I was going to shoot a video. I was like, wait, where's my camera? Oh, it's in Tucker's truck. Oh, it's not in Tucker's truck. It is nowhere to be found in the truck. It is nowhere. And I have had multiple moments where I have started hyperventilating, freaking out that I cannot find my camera. Which, yes, it was $700. Do I want to spend $700 more to replace it? Absolutely not. However, if that is the worst thing happening to me this week, this month, that I have lost my camera and I need to replace my camera, which, by the way, I have a GoPro. I shot the video on the GoPro instead of that camera. It's not what I wanted. It doesn't look as good. It won't sound as good. Hopefully you guys will accept it when I post it. But at the end of the day, I'm okay. I am healthy, and my family is healthy. I have a job that I continue to do from home where I am safe. I have a home to keep me safe. I have food in my fridge when I remember to go to the grocery store. But if not, we can order takeout, and that's okay. And I will survive. But sometimes I have to treat myself like a little baby that won't stop crying. Like literally, I'm not really calm, like, oh, you're a baby. Like literally a baby. Hold baby, and you're like, it's okay. Breathe, breathe. Calm down. You have to do that, whether you're a baby, whether you're a 31-year-old woman, or a 90-year-old grandma. So, do you guys have any times where you've had to tell yourself that lately? Now let me see what you guys are saying. I want to hear. Hi, Scott. Hi, Matt G. Yes, this is live. Hi, Adelaide. Good day. Good day. Hi, Jason. Adelaide says, during the past 5 months, you got a life coach, and that has been so amazing. She's helped you with your, what? That's so cool. Is a life coach like a therapist? I've always wanted, I thought a life coach would be really cool. Rob says, waiting for hockey should be interesting. Yes, by the way, go Kraken. Go Seattle Kraken. There are so many puns you can say about the Kraken, but that just makes me like the team more, honestly. It's helped me so much. And the main thing I have to remind myself when I meditate is that it is a practice, and the point is not to be immediately good at it. Because as someone whose brain moves like this and 5 million things are popping up in it every single second, it's hard for me to focus. It's hard for me to calm my brain and slow it down and get to that calm place in a meditation. But that's okay. The point is to keep practicing, and it's okay if you get distracted. The meditation I did this morning on the Calm app was, it had me notice what I was thinking, go, oh, and if you're just thinking something, it said, just say that silently in your mind. Thinking. If you hear something and it distracts you, just think hearing, If you feel something, like you got an itch or you start sweating or something, feeling, just keep thinking that. If you think those words, it totally works for me. If I'm thinking those words, I can't simultaneously be thinking thoughts. The thoughts kind of go away. And that was a great one for me. Jesse says, hi, you always make my week. Oh my gosh, thank you. You make my week by saying that. Some Media Geek says, gotta enjoy the little things. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. You wrote it right, Some Media Geek. I just can't talk. Whoa, sorry. Also, I'm on a new phone. I switched phones. Does the camera look better? Maybe. Sensible Psychotic says, so glam. Hi, Tom. Hi, Michael. Where are you? You said good morning. Are you somewhere where it's the morning? Austin says, have you bought your Kraken gear yet? I have not. However, I'm totally going to, because number 1, love the Kraken already. Number 2, need to learn about hockey, side note. Number 3, which is really number 2, because that was a side note. Number 3 is they are donating 100% of the proceeds through sometime in the middle of August or the end of August maybe to 3 different organizations supporting youth and specifically BIPOC youth, Black, Indigenous, and people of color youth in Portland, and homeless youth, and that is awesome. So you get some awesome gear, and you get to support local youth who need it. Scott says, I was forced to slow down this weekend. Oh no, I hurt my back something fierce. Now I have to walk around the house with trekking poles until I can get to the chiropractor. Oh no, Scott, I'm so sorry. I hope you can get to the chiropractor. And I hope you can just feel better. I'm very sorry. Oh my gosh. Speaking of trekking poles, which I just bought trekking poles, which I've needed for ski touring missions that Tucker and I've gone on this year, but I also obviously needed them for hiking. I was borrowing friends' trekking poles. Now I have my own. But in my dream last night, I just remembered this. As soon as you said trekking poles, Scott, this came to me. I was hiking, and somehow I had 2 sets of trekking poles, 2 poles in each hand, which is stupid and pointless. And they broke. Like, I fell and hit a rock, and all of a sudden I looked and I just had the handles of all of them in my hands, but the rest of the pole was gone. And I was like, how am I going to do this now? How am I going to finish the hike? I'm having post-backpacking stress. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? It should not be. Michael, you just sent me $20. What are you? Oh my gosh, you're amazing. Have a couple Dutch Bros or a Starbucks visits on me. Cheers. Michael, you're amazing. Thank you. You're so kind. That was so unnecessary. You're so sweet. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're in Bali? What? That's cool. My parents have gone to Bali, and they say it is beautiful and wonderful, and I would love to go there someday. Does it look like this? I feel like, do they have a lot of plants in Bali, right? Is there like rainforest there, or am I just totally wrong here? Maybe. Does anyone want a plant update? Because I could give you one. These guys, I don't know if you guys remember from weeks ago, months ago maybe at this point, when I went and quarantined at my parents' house for a week, and my mom and I made these, there's an ant crawling in there! Get out of there! Oh no! Oh, it just crawled back down into the soil. Anyway, my mom, there's an ant in here. My mom and I made these little pots for these plants, and then I cut them off of, these are called pups when they come off of a pilea plant, and now I'm itchy just like feeling like there's ants everywhere. And they were this big, and now they're this big. Look at them. Like, this guy's going crazy. And also, you can tell that I was out of town the last few days because Tucker was here alone, and he did not turn them like I always do. So they're all facing one direction towards the window. They're like, give me sun. Give me sun. Especially this guy. Just all that direction. So I'm going to spin them the other way. They'll face you guys, so then the back side will face the window. And there you go. In other news, my Monstera, which eventually I'll do a video, hypothetically, showing you that I saved it. Because I hope I can save it, but she's just, kind of sad and droopy, and I don't know what to do. I don't know. I repotted her, tried to save her. I did record that on video, but I'm hoping I can have like a happy ending to the video. That would be nice, but we'll see if we can get it. Oh, sorry, my hand is giant when I do that. I know, Tucker needs to learn to turn the plants, and other thing I'm trying to remind him to do when I'm out of town, which obviously is not often these days, obviously, but is to spray our little succulents and mother of thousands that we are propagating here. And they are doing pretty good. Look at these guys. They're growing. These guys are still tiny. And on these little succulents, I don't know if you guys can see, there's tiny little baby succulents growing on the edge of them. And I'm so excited. But FYI, if you're trying to grow succulents from a little leaf propagating it, oh, this has like no water in it. You need to spray around them. Basically, you always want the soil around them to be a little moist. So you just do it a few times a day, then try to put them in as much sun as you can, and then you'll look later and go, oh, the soil is dry, and you spray it again. Also, it's fun, and you feel like you're giving them a spa day. Oh, geez, my phone keeps moving. I really need to buy just a tripod for my phone. Michael, how long are you in Bali for? You have a caretaker watering them? That's awesome. Yes, the ant definitely had high hopes. And it's now just hanging out in here. How do I get ants out of my plants? I don't want ants in my plants. Anyway, how are you guys doing? I would love to hear any examples that you've had lately where you've needed to remind yourself to slow down and breathe. Some Meaty Geek says, R.I.P. ant. It's not dead. It just crawled back into the soil. I didn't do anything to it. I probably would have killed it if I could have, but I don't like hurting them also. But yeah, let me know what moments you guys have had lately that reminded you to breathe and slow down, because you always have that. You always have that to return to. Whatever you're doing, you can take a minute, you can breathe. Just do like 5 deep breaths, and then maybe you'll feel better. Jesse says, you're so good with plants, and I'm awesome. Thank you so much. Also, just a fun fact, like a year and a half ago, I didn't have any plants. And here we are today. You can't even see. This is like half of the plants in the house that you can see right now. Maybe not even. I don't know. And I have killed some. R.I.P. And that's okay. And sometimes they go through phases, like this Monstera that she's not doing very well. But that dumb cane up there went through a period where it wasn't doing well, and Tucker didn't even think I could save it. And look at it now. I mean, you guys can't really tell. I'll show you in a video. There's also another part of it when I repotted it to try to save its life that fell off. And I put that in a different pot, in a different spot of the house. And that one has grown into its own plant. So you know what? There's proof that you can always learn something that you thought you were going to be bad at forever. Because I have killed a cactus. I've killed a few succulents. And look at me now. Knocking on wood once again. I guess it is time for us to go eat dinner because, as usual, I guess, see, Tucker, we're not supposed to cook dinner on Mondays. We're supposed to have you go get takeout while I do Mental Monday. It's just kind of what we do here. What?
Perfect.
Yeah. You have any wisdom to share?
Not tonight.
Not tonight. No wisdom.
Actually, for the guy who's gotten to ride his bike 5 of 6 days in a row, do the things that make you happy.
Yeah. Okay. Tucker's advice is do the things that make you happy. He got a mountain bike recently, and he has ridden it 5 of the last 6 days, which is why he did not come to Seattle to hang out with me and my grandma. He went motorcycle. No, he did not go motorcycling. He went mountain biking. What, sir? What?
Even though today was a tough, long, hard day, I'm still happy because I got to ride the last 5 to 6 days.
You should just come and say it on camera, but whatever. He said even though today was a tough, hard, long work day, he's still feeling good. He's still happy because he's gotten to do what he loves 5 of the 6 last days. And that is
love my job.
Wonderful. He also loves his job, in case the boss is looking. He really does love his job. Like, he works so much. And he's like, but I love it. I'm like, okay. He does. I love all of you. Thank you for hanging out for Mental Monday. Go do something nice for your brain. Go take a minute to chill, to breathe, to slow down, whether that's literally just breathing for 20 seconds or 5 seconds, or watching your favorite movie, reading a book, writing in your journal, and do more of that.
Or riding your bike.
Or riding your bike. Or eating tacos. That's what we're going to do. Thank you all Oh, some Media Geeks says you've been taking more time to do writing and nightly meditations. Yes, good one. Yes, we need to meditate more.
You need to get
We would
better
like to
singing
meditate
live.
more. Okay, I love you all. See you next time. Bye.